Hey y'all, Angie here, single mom, educator, therapist, who comes on to talk about things that have to do with profession, family, travel, just kind of whatever's been on my mind that I think can be helpful to other people. So I'll start by saying that we're coming up on the holidays and that can be a really tough time for people. The winter time in general is very tough for me. I have, over the past couple years, really struggled with anxiety, and seasonal affective disorder. I've been in therapy pretty much steadily since 2018, which started as adjustment disorder, then went to generalized anxiety and seasonal affective disorder, especially with the pandemic. I had a lot of tumultuous things kind of happening to me in my 30s, I'm realizing. And not all bad, but just kind of like a lot of shifts. And I think it's finally like as I go into the next decade, I'll be 40 in March. I'm finally starting to like see how it's caught up with me and was recently diagnosed with clinical depression, which as a therapist was really kind of hard to swallow, not because, of course, I don't believe in it or don't agree with it, but because it was happening to me that I was actually trying to help people through this, but I wasn't able to help myself um, just on my own with the skills that I learned. But I'm also really big on um, medications if they're going to be helpful. I am so interested in psychopharmacology, especially pharmacology overall, but especially psychopharmacology, neuropharmacology. And so for me to uh, go to a doctor and talk about what was going on after I had spoken to therapists about it uh, was just helpful for her to give me medication to kind of help me bring my serotonin levels back up so that I wasn't always feeling so sad. Like I was sitting with my supervisor for my licensing. I think you all know that I've been going through the professional counselor process to become licensed by my state. And I have a supervisor that I was working with weekly, and she said to me, you just always seem a little like numb. There's some malaise going on there, and I'd been seeing it for a while. So I'm glad that I took the steps, kind of got over myself, get some healing. And because of that, I'm also going to be taking some time off of work periodically, intermittently, intermittent FMLA, certain days during the week as I get used to the medication, as I get overworked, stressed by my job, sad by my job. My job is actually, it saddens me, I've realized a lot, and I wonder if therapy will do the same, but I definitely see it happening working where I work for many reasons. And I think just education overall has been a lot for me in the past couple of years. Um, Leaving public school wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it was a huge change and shift. Moving into a position where I'm constantly reminded of how people just may not like me for the essence of me as a diversity director and how I'm always fighting for the rights of everyone else and having to work with coworkers who kind of sometimes just don't get it, and families who don't always understand is very tough, as rewarding as some of those processes can be. So, yeah, I'm going to take some time and reflect on it and keep it moving. So that was number one. Also, I don't know how many of you are into like the dance world or have watched Ellen DeGeneres over the years, but she had a DJ on who was really well known for dancing. Him and his wife um, were on So You Think You Can Dance many years ago, just a very upbeat guy, three children. He went by Twitch, Stephen Boss, but recently, yesterday, lost his life by suicide, which really, really struck a chord with me to kind of come on and talk about just how important it is to make sure you do right by yourself. Um, and if you do feel like you're having a tough time, I mean, reach out to someone. You can even reach out to me. as a therapist, or just send me a comment. You can find me on, you can find my website online, whatever needs to be done. There's also 988 that you can dial, crisis helpline. 988 is for, it's like the 911 for mental health crises. So you can always use that. But let someone that you trust know, and make sure you have people in your corner who um, who know you. Yeah, and really be honest with them and open with them if you can. So I wanted to start by saying that the other thing that I'm going to say, since we are talking about therapy, but I'm going to talk about it on the professional side, is I applied for licensure to become a licensed professional counselor in the state. Now, you know that I always say that I am a psychotherapist, which I am because I do administer therapeutic processes to people. I've just been doing so under my supervisor because I haven't been licensed yet. But I finished all the criteria for that so that I can be able to do it independently and be overseen by the state board. And that does a lot. It enables me to be able to take insurance from clients. It enables me to work for many more companies because they require licensure. So there's a lot of positives that go along with becoming licensed. So I finished up those processes. I'll tell you really quickly what that was. So first of all, you have to have a master's degree, and I'm in the state of Pennsylvania. So these are the requirements for Pennsylvania. Now, different states have different requirements, even though they're working on like this interstate agreement pact, which is going on. So that's happening too. But anyway, right now we're still individualized requirements by states. So in Pennsylvania, what you need to do is first have a 48 credit master's degree. Then you have to have 12 additional credits beyond that 48 credit master's degree. So basically 60 credits in total within a counseling or counseling related field. So I do have that. I did complete that in 2009 and then went back and got 12 additional credits in educational psychology. So that's what I submitted to the state as to meet that requirement. You also have to have had 3,000 hours of experience for which you are overseen by a supervisor. And the experience just has to be in different areas of counseling. Half of those hours have to be face to face administering counseling to someone, and those are called clinical hours. So 1,500 have to be clinical, the other 1,500 can just be related to different areas of counseling. And you have to meet with your supervisor a certain amount of times within that time frame, which I did. And my supervisor has signed off on that, and that information went to the State Department as well. You also have to do a child abuse clear training, so you can get cleared for that to make sure you understand that. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, you have to take a national counseling exam, which I ended up doing. Yay! And I passed the test. It's called the National Counselor Examination, the NCE. And you have to submit your resume just so they can see what your experience has been when it comes to counseling. I think those are the bulk of the requirements. I'm sure I'm missing something somewhere. Oh yeah, background child abuse checks. I said that. But also like the FBI clearances, you have to get all of that taken care of. And then once you do that, you submit all that information to the state licensing department, and then you just wait. So everything is in for me. I'm just waiting for them to make a final, to turn around and say, okay, you're good to go, cleared. So I'm just waiting on that, and yeah, we'll see how that comes along. So that's what I'm doing as I gear up to go into the holidays. My intermittent FMLA process is supposed to start after our winter break, which is January 3rd, is when I return to work to school at my current job. So, yeah, that's what's going on. But today is an async day. It's a little icy out there, so we were able to do some virtual learning with students asynchronously. So no login, just kind of put some information up for the kids and let them go. So I've done that. My son is home. He's upstairs playing right now. But we're gonna go to lunch with a couple friends in about an hour or so. So looking forward to it. Yeah, just gonna enjoy the rest of my day and keep going with this holiday season. So if you have any questions about anything that has to do with therapy, feel free to let me know. Psychology Today is a good resource to find out about all things counseling related if you are in need of someone. Yeah, and you can always, like I said, contact me and let me know. In the meantime, y'all, thanks for listening. And I hope I will see you around on my channel again soon. Bye.